Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Half and Half Podcast.
What's up?
Dude, I feel like crap. I have a headache beyond belief.
Why?
I'm tired. Shift work, man.
Oh.
It's killing me.
Shift work? Shit work?
Dude, I haven't slept in 3 days.
Really?
I'll fall asleep. I'll wake up for 2, 3, 4 hours. Fall back asleep for 30 minutes. I have a headache. Like a hangover headache. But I'm excited, though, at the same time.
Why?
And this is not, this may offend people, right? Mm-hmm. It's not politically correct, but I don't care. Dude, fat kid season is upon us. Like, for people who don't know, I love working out. Fitness is my life. I train people, right? But from the months of mid-September to January, all bets are off. I still work out every day. Working out is like the huge part. But I don't worry about what I'm eating for.
Fat kid season's been around for 3 years for me, so I feel like it's funny because as you're saying that, I'm thinking like I should start exercising for the next 3 months.
And what do I say? I'm gonna wreck shop for 3 months.
Yeah,
man. I'm excited. My favorite time of year.
I've put on way more. Like, so I calculated. I'm gonna get personal here.
Do it, man.
Dude, when I married my wife, so I calculated from the day I married my wife to now, I've put on 40 pounds, which that's 7 years, right? But I actually weighed myself before the pandemic, and at that point I had put on 20 pounds. So that means for 5.5 years I put on 20 pounds, but just in the last 1.5 years I put on another 20 pounds.
Yeah. What is that? What were they calling it? The quarantine 15 or something like that?
Yeah. Quarantine 20 for me.
Dude, that's why I was loving life, dude. People were dying because, other fitness people that I know, right? Yeah. They couldn't work out.
Because you have your gym.
I'm in my underwear working out. You know what I'm saying?
So does that mean you just completely stop working out?
No, sir. Working out is...
So it's just eating what you want.
Right. I see when I don't work out for aesthetic, right? I don't have a certain goal, right? Because some months I want to just lift as heavy as I can for a month straight.
Right.
Some months I want to just do a lot of bodybuilding style workouts, and some months it's just nothing but boxing and kickboxing, and so I'm all over the place.
Right.
But when it comes to dieting, I'm hardcore about it. Intermittent fasting for 6 years.
So does it kick off for you because of Halloween and you love candy?
Yeah.
That's what kind of triggers the whole...
Well, it's all of it. Yeah. That's how it starts.
Right.
It started a little early this year. But
yeah, I've been struggling. I don't know. A lot of people that know me, I guess, know I'm vegan. At least I try to be.
Yeah.
But you know what? I gotta admit, so after my mom passed, phone's off, Adrian.
Yeah, well, they're probably calling me from work. But I can hear you.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, they are calling me from work.
That sucks. So I'm vegan. I actually started off, I went vegetarian. That didn't work out too great. Then I went pescatarian, which is where you're vegetarian, but you eat fish. I went back to eating regular, and then I ended up going full on vegan, and I've done really well. But when my mom passed, I started eating just anything and everything and didn't care. And it was funny because my brother's vegan too, and he made a good point. He was like, it's because it's going back to our childhood, it's comfort food for us.
Absolutely.
And when my mom passed, it was kind of like, you don't care, you're just like in a mode of like, whatever, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, man, like whenever I do eat meat, so a lot of people don't understand. Like, I really don't think that everybody should be vegan. I think it just depends on your body and your blood type and all that stuff.
Right.
But for me, being vegan is the only time I ever actually feel good physically. Because when I have, even just in the last few weeks, when I have decided to eat meat, dude, it tastes good somehow. It's really weird. But it makes me feel like crap. Like, I just feel terrible.
Yeah.
But that's my extent of fitness. I don't exercise for the life of me anymore.
Dude, but the thing is it's in you, right?
Yeah.
You were a gymnast, right? And that, dude, gymnasts are crazy strong. Some of the best arms in the world come from gymnasts, right? Like a few years ago when you really got into it and I was training you and I'd give you workouts and all that. Remember?
Yeah.
You sent me that shirtless picture and you had those nice shoulders.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of that's what I tell people. Working out is the hardest part.
Yeah.
It's easy to diet. It doesn't take anything, right? Other than some will. Working out's the hard part.
Right.
Right? And for me, I'm backwards. I can work out all day, hours on end, without even thinking about it.
But see, I think that's, again, half and half. That's where we differ. With me, I was actually telling my wife this the other day. I said, look, if I knew a group of guys that played basketball or baseball or football, I'd be there in a heartbeat because I love playing sports. That's why I loved boxing so much. So when I was in boxing, it was like I didn't feel like I was working out because I was so focused on perfecting my technique. Or like, to me, there was a purpose. Like, every day I was in the gym trying to improve upon something, or actually it's fun. Like, I didn't feel like I'm in there lifting weights. I know that's your thing, but like, to me, when I lift weights, I get bored real quick.
And I will agree with you, which is why the style of workout that I came up with, it's not just 4 sets of 10, sit there and wait. 4 sets of 10, sit there and wait.
Yeah.
You haven't tried the new stuff that I've come up with. You haven't. It incorporates both.
I do 30 seconds of jumping jacks and I want to vomit.
Dude, boxing is the basis of all the cardio.
Yeah.
When I train people, I tell them, you're going to bring boxing gloves because that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. I love doing that. But so for those of you that don't know, I actually stopped boxing because I got injured. I hurt my shoulders. And so, and then I went back again like 2 years later and I hurt my other shoulder. And now I'm just like,
welcome to old age.
I know. Now I'm just like afraid to even throw a punch. But no, I mean, I need to do something eventually. I think I need to do more than just diet. And I don't see veganism as being a diet. I actually enjoy it.
That's where I argue with people. And this can be an entire podcast. We won't do this today.
Yeah.
But I'm not vegan or vegetarian. It is what it is. I love the way meat tastes.
Yeah.
Right? But
yeah, you do.
If I were to do it, it would be for the purpose itself.
Yeah.
Not the diet, not the health benefits. It would be for animal rights. 100%.
Right. Yeah. And see, that's what's like, my wife, she's been vegan forever, and that's one of the reasons she does it. Like, to her, just the thought, like, she's a big animal person. I mean, she works with dog rescues, and like, I think she loves animals more than she loves me.
I'm pretty sure.
But that's why she does it. Like, she just can't. She's a whatever you want to call a hippie. But when people see what animals go through,
oh, absolutely.
Like, people have no idea. People, especially Americans, are so like, it's out of sight, out of mind. You know.
Yeah.
And then they see it, and then, I don't want to see that stuff, and then they turn around and eat a big burger. But me, I really do believe in that stuff, but I'll be the first to admit that's not why I do it.
Yeah.
Like, even though I know all that, I'm like, that's kind of the icing on the cake. I don't want to contribute to that. But I mostly do it because physically, that's what makes me feel good.
Right.
When I eat meat, I feel terrible. I'm in the shitter. I feel tired and run down. I'm gonna give you an example. Yesterday, so everybody knows now, my mom passed away, right? So yesterday I went to my mom's house. Her two sisters still live there. So we went, and my aunt busted out with, it's called a tomahawk.
Yeah, the steak.
Yes.
Yeah.
That thing's gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, because my mom was a big meat eater.
Mm-hmm.
She said, your mom she was so excited that she had this, and she couldn't wait to because she grilled every Sunday, and she couldn't wait to grill it and stuff. And so my aunt was like, should we cook it? And I was like, I mean, what are we waiting for? Might as well, And I didn't even intend to eat. I just said, look, I'll help you cook it, because actually I'm a cook. So I actually used to love cooking meat because I got really good at it, whatever. So we seared it. Even we had to find a pan big enough for it to sear it. And then we oven cooked it, whatever. And when it was done, it smelled so good. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to try it. So I did. So I ate a couple of pieces, and I was like, this tastes so good. And literally salt and pepper, and that was it.
Yeah.
But it made me feel like complete crap. Dude, literally within 10 minutes, I was falling asleep. I was just groggy and in a bad mood for 3 hours after that. I just felt terrible. I felt like my stomach, my intestines just felt like I had rocks in them. It's just the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And then whenever I go vegan, I have energy. I feel good. And so anyways, main point, long story short, I do it because it just makes me feel normal.
Yeah, you do it for both.
Yeah.
Me, it'd be solely animal rights, because I tell people all the time, I am well aware of my contradiction.
Right.
Well aware of it.
Right.
I love animals. I hate to see them hurt. I hate to see them die for no apparent reason. But meat eater. You know what I mean? I love it,
You know what's really funny? You have a high percentage of Native American in you. Did you know that most Native Americans were actually vegetarians?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Matter of fact, even evolution-wise, getting into some science here, Native Americans evolved away from having wisdom teeth quicker than anybody else, because they didn't have the need, because they didn't really eat meat.
Right.
And when they did eat meat, it was only like rabbits and small rodents, because cows didn't exist, pigs didn't exist, none of that stuff existed here. All that stuff was brought from Europe. So they were pretty much a mostly vegetarian diet. Wow. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, but also Hispanic as well, so there's the meat eater.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But also too, it's an American thing. When you look at the American factories, the way they handle meat, that's one thing I love about living here on the border, is that if you do eat meat, you could go get meat from Mexico or whatever, or actually a lot of the meat here in local grocery stores doesn't come from middle America, which is where those factories are the ones that are the worst in terms of treatment of animals and stuff like that. Yeah. So, and just kind of force feeding the cows corn and stuff like that, Yeah. I mean, granted it does taste better, but it's terrible what they put those animals through.
Yeah. And that's again, to me, that's the only reason why I would ever consider it.
Yeah. Well, you were going to try it for 30 days.
I still am. I've been in a funk lately.
Yeah.
A real bad funk, right?
Right.
I just, I don't want to put I know how to, when I can and can't push myself, right?
But have you ever thought that maybe that would help you get out of the funk?
It might, because it's a mental funk,
right? Oh, okay.
I can push through workouts like nothing. That's my therapy,
right?
It's just, I got a lot of shit weighing on the mind, and I'm just in a funk right now.
Right.
So I don't like to, on top of the working out, on top of the stress of not sleeping, on top of...
Right.
I know my limits, right? Once I feel better, then I can start...
Yeah. You gotta
myself.
mentally prepare yourself for it. Which you do. I totally get that. Yeah. So, wow, we just went on a fitness rant there.
I know. I'd always had it in mind that I wanted to do a health podcast, right? We talk about veganism and
a lot of people have no idea how much we actually talk about health and fitness
all the time,
and supplements and exercise and all that stuff, because we actually pretty knowledgeable on that stuff.
Dude, 10 years ago our text messages were, blow it out your ass. You want to make out? What are you doing? I'm taking a shit. Call me while you're pooping.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, did you know that if you were to... it's all fitness. It's all health. It's all...
I gave you that combination of supplements to help you sleep.
Magnesium and L-theanine.
Yeah.
Dude, it hasn't been working lately, but when it does kick in, like a rock.
Really?
Yeah. That's my sister.
And see, with me, I've been struggling to sleep. I had insomnia my whole life until I met my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then for whatever reason, my insomnia kind of went away. And then ever since I left my job and now that I'm doing the guitars full time, I have it right back. But it's different though. It's because I cannot go to sleep because all I keep thinking about is how I can improve the guitars or what I can do differently. It's been weird.
Yeah. I think I know not financially you're worried, right? But I mean, you sacrificed a lot for this, and that's got to be weighing on the mind.
Yeah.
I haven't even quit my job, and you doing it gives me anxiety.
Well, and I don't even think it has to do with quitting the job. It's just that I'm always, like with the guitars, I'm always trying to find a better and efficient and
different ways. This has to work. This has to work.
Plus all the other billion things I have going on with so one of the things I did want to talk about is, like I'm moving the recording studio downtown, which I know you're not the biggest fan of.
I'm not, because I'm a lazy driver,
Yeah.
I was pissed that you moved 7 minutes away.
I know.
Now you're a whole 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
You just spoiled me with that minute and a half drive, man.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's now you're just getting further and further and further away.
So, those people here locally, I've decided to move the home studio because I don't record artists anymore. I mean, unless I really like them, but even then, like, I don't ever seek out artists really to record at all.
So we're not primed for a Cans and Windows reunion?
Not anytime soon. So I'm moving downtown in a really nice spot, and more of those details will come soon. But I'm excited about it because now I'll be able to open the doors to pretty much anybody that's willing to want to put in the work and come in and record. I think now, not that you have to, right? Again, it's not a money thing. But before, your time was very limited. Right.
So you had to pick and choose who you wanted to work with.
Right.
Because you didn't need to work with just anybody because you had a great job.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like,
yeah, I mean,
$1,000 for a week. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, my day job will still be, the guitar business. But having the studio there, having to I have the flexibility of if I'm going to be recording on a Wednesday, I can say, oh, you know what, I'll swap out that day for a Saturday or whatever.
Right. After podcasting.
Yeah, exactly. But the cool thing is I get frustrated working with bands because there is a level of frustration there that exists, but at the same time I miss it.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because when you're in that element, you always tell me, I need you to be here with me because I want you to help out, blah, blah. And the times that I do go, I'm like, man, he's getting mad already. And it's only 20 minutes in. See, where I struggle when I go with you is, I've said it before, I'm a hippie. I'm a Buddhist when it comes to music, right?
Right.
So I'll tell people, why did you write that?
Right.
Oh, well, whatever bullshit reason they give us. And I'm like, no, man, why did you write that? Can't I go sing it like that? Nobody understands when I say that.
Right.
Like, why did you write that?
Right.
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Let that fuel what this take is going to sound like.
Right.
And nobody gets that.
Yeah.
And it aggravates me.
Yeah, I mean, you have...
If you're sitting down just writing words that rhyme with each other for the sake of it, then that's on you.
And sadly, a lot of artists, that's what they're doing. We've talked about that before. There's, the lack of emotion in a lot of music. But one of the biggest things that triggers me when I'm in the studio is, I've been doing this for a long time. And you get artists in the studio that just, for whatever reason, think they know better than you. That's one of the biggest things that, I guess, irks me, And they're paying customers, so it's kind of like you have to nicely explain to them like, no, this is how things are. But it's like, all right, if you want to do it that way, cool. And then, but then that backfires because then if you go their route, the recording sounds like crap. It looks like you're doing a crappy job. But it's like, so you're kind of torn between, okay, do I just tell them like it is? Do I give them their way?
Well, I think that's why, and I've told you this before, sometimes you need to wear your hats, right?
Yeah.
And I tell you to tell them, okay, do you want me to just be a button pusher and press record? Or do you want the full experience?
Right.
If you want me to produce you, I'm going to chop it up, this, that, and the other.
Right.
Or some bands just want you to press record. We've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You worked with a band and they shall remain nameless because one of their members is a very good friend of ours. But like 2009, 2010-ish. And their guitar player was like, well, I could just leave right now. And you're like, well, if you want me to just press a button, I will. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Right.
You're paying me. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what band I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know exactly.
You know?
Yeah. And then that's the other thing, too, is that you have these musicians come in that think that they're better than they are. And you're sitting there, you're on take 20, take 25, take 30.
Yeah.
And like as a musician, I want to just be like, give me your guitar. I'll just do the part for you.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they do the take right, and then they sit there and they're like, "Oh, I think it should be different." And it's just.
But to me, that's all musicians. I'm gonna say, and it's gonna sound weird, except for me, right?
Well, me too.
No bullshit. Dude. You will send me a song, and I will love it. And I say, dude, we're gonna record it on Saturday, and then I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring. Now I'm done with it. I don't want to do it anymore. I think it would be better. But I'm like, I knew it.
I mean, in terms of working with the producer.
Oh, okay.
I've always been very like, hey, man, it's all in your hands. Just tell me what I need to do. Yeah. I can come in. I can nail my parts. I'll play my part. You want me to change it? Cool. Like, you are the one behind the board. Just tell me what you want me to do. Right. It's my art. It's my piece. But at the same time, I give up all... not authority, but I give creative process from the producer. Like, the song's written, tell me how you want me to make it better, and I'll execute. And so I've always been very open to that with every producer.
Yeah. Oh, and producer wise, yes, yeah. I thought you meant more so in the fact that people just can't ever settle on their parts, like you.
Yeah, but see, like, to me, by the time I go into the studio, like, those things should be done already. They should already be settled.
Yeah, I agree. It's like when I come in here and you have a part and you say, all right, write a bass line.
Yeah.
And I'm in it. And then I say, wait, press record. I tell you that because it's like, whew, I feel it. I'm either sad, I'm either mad. Like, what I'm trying to get across is coming out.
Right.
And I want it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we've worked with our share of producers.
Yeah.
And every time we have, I don't think we've ever been satisfied, which is why I produce everything myself now.
Yeah. I mean...
Have we ever been satisfied with anything that we've ever put out where we had a producer produce it?
No.
I can't think of it.
I can't.
Single thing.
I mean, the Jerry Fimbres stuff I was okay with.
In the beginning.
When
you were in the band.
Yeah.
After that, yeah.
But also, we worked with him when I was in Super Soul also.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it's different, dude. Like, a few of them that we've worked with, you can tell they believed in us or whatever, right? Obviously, they wanted to work with us, but at the same time, it's like, to me, there's a difference in producing and making a band want what you want.
Right.
And that happened to us a lot. It's like you're taking our vibe out, you're taking our essence, you're taking the life out of this band. What brought us all together, you're taking it all away.
Right.
And I don't like that.
Right. I agree. And you're 100% right. Like, it's kind of hard to have this conversation without naming names, and I don't want to name names. But we worked with a couple of pretty big producers, and I think just the general idea is that for artists out there, like, you think, oh, look at that big producer, I'm gonna go work with them. They're going to make me sound amazing. But our experience has always been where we kind of once the project's over, we're kind of like, what did we just go through? Like,
Yeah.
the experience itself is always great. I love having that experience. But yeah, it sucks when the final product gets morphed to suit the producer more than it gets morphed to suit the band. Does that make sense? So like you go in a hardcore band, you come out pop punk, or you go in like an alternative rock band and you come out sounding like metal. I don't know, whatever, right?
Yeah. It's just you're doing certain things that you've never done before.
Right.
Bad or good. I mean, again, to me, I'm a soul searching musician, right? And I gotta feel it.
Right.
And if you're changing a part that I felt, and I know I'm no longer spiritually connected to it, you drained it. Like, I don't get it anymore.
Right.
I don't understand what I'm doing.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean?
And I think, like, for advice for artists out there, if anybody needs it, one thing I guess I've learned through the years is that you need to find a producer that suits your style of music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because remember that when we did that final EP, that I'm talking about, we had 3 producers on the line, and we were just talking about this on the phone the other day.
Yeah.
We had, it's really hard without saying who. One producer was well known for working with Blink-182, one was well known for working with Goo Goo Dolls, and one was well known for working with
The
Deftones. Yeah.
And I'm super pissed that I don't remember that. I don't.
Yeah.
At all.
Right.
Like, at all.
And
Because I would have said, why are we here?
Yeah.
And not over there?
What it was is it came down to circumstance. We allowed like location, we allowed finances, we allowed things to get into way that made our decision.
Yeah, that's true.
What we made the decision, but turned out, again, that goes back to like why I do a lot of the stuff that I do, like leaving my job and stuff, because I really feel like the hard road always ends up being the best road, and those are the types of things that I've been through in life that have taught me that.
Yeah.
Because we took the easy road on that one. The other 2 would have been more difficult, but I think the payout would have been far greater.
I agree. And after we had that conversation, like, that made my funk even worse, because now I started having those what if moments, right?
Yeah.
Like the new Marvel what if cartoons that are on Disney Plus, which you don't know what I'm talking about.
No idea.
But it's like that for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that for me.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? Who knows had we gone this route?
Yeah.
Because the people, let's just say, for example, you figure association, right? So these people are associated with one of our favorite bands. Our band sounded more like that band, yet we went for the guy who is not even into our style of music, knows no one in that genre of music.
Right.
And look what happened.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We did some really cool stuff.
We did.
We ended up getting...
I'm not going to shit on any of it. Like, it was a great experience.
Right.
But...
And, we got a really cool showcase out of it. We showcased in LA in front of, like, every major record label, which every single one of them turned us down. One of them came close.
Yeah.
But then...
But you know what, man? Had that not happened, you're talking about the road less traveled, right?
Right.
The path to least resistance, right? That spawned one of the world's greatest EPs that we had ever done.
Right. Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Because we were pissed and we said, "Oh, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's game time."
Right.
And 5, 6 of the best songs we had ever written.
Yeah.
Little did we know what was transpiring during that recording process.
If you hear the lyrics, that's all you got to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Live and learn, right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah. But it's things like that we were talking about earlier that's kind of made me very jaded towards just the music industry in general.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up because we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
The thing that's very, I don't want to say, the thing that doesn't motivate me, not that I'm not willing to push hard, because I am, right? My dying goal is to, I don't care how old I get.
Right.
I want to make it music somehow, some way.
Right.
But, like, you look at the 90s and the early 2000s, pre-heavy internet, right? Heavy everything. You found a band, you clung to that band.
Right.
Bands stuck out from other bands because that's all that was shown. That's all that was given to you.
Right.
Versus now, the attention span of these people are that of a gnat, because it's like, yeah, I like this band. Oh, look, I found another band. Oh, look, I found another band. Hey, look what I can do. Look what I found. Look what I... And it's like, you're just flooded with all these musicians, which are great in every right? I'm not crapping on anybody. But there's just so many. It's so saturated. Like, it's hard to stick out of the crowd anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You know
it really
what I mean?
is. Yeah. Well, like you were saying that you've been in a funk with music lately.
Yeah, every 2-3 months, I get what I call music fatigue.
Yeah.
And music is not cutting it for me. I don't want to listen to any band. I don't want to listen to any song. Like, this is just, I don't feel anything out of it.
Right.
And again, if I'm not going to feel it, I'm not going to do it. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately, a lot of lectures. Like, I'm big on philosophy. Like, I love philosophy.
Right.
So that's all I've been listening to lately, because I just...
It's totally half and half, man, because I've been the opposite. Like, Justin mentioned that band. What are they called?
Pianos Become Teeth or something.
Yeah. Oh, man. I was like, I'm blown away, like, at how good those guys are.
It's so crazy how old they are. You just...
Yeah, I didn't even know. And actually, I showed him... He had never heard Hippocampus, and I showed him...
What?
Yeah, and so him and I were going back and forth about one of my favorite songs. I always forget what it's called.
Suicide Saturday?
No. It's a real slow song. There's like even like...
Halocene?
No. I wish I could call it Justin.
Monsoon?
Yes!
Okay.
That's such a good song.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that. But who else? That band, it's like Harvard or whatever?
Yeah.
Without the A's?
Yeah.
That was a good band. So like I've been really like getting into some of the stuff. Justin's always been great at like... It's weird. He's just totally... He's like... in tune. We've always been... He's like our brother. Like, he's totally in tune with how we think.
Not like our brother.
Oh, no. Yeah, he is our brother. But it's amazing because he'll send me a band and be like, here, I thought about you. And I listen to it and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. As opposed to like my little brother, for example. Hey, check out this band. I listen to it and I'm like, this is terrible, Jason. Even though he's introduced me to some good bands.
Yes, Jason has great taste in music.
Yeah, but still, like, it's just like everything Justin sends me, I'm like, I love this. I don't care what style of music it is. I'm just like, Justin, like, this is amazing. Thank you.
Wow.
You know? No, well,
wow.
You send me what you're listening to, and I think you send me stuff knowing deep down. I know he's going to hate this, but I'm going to send it to him.
Yeah, send it anyway. Yeah, that's what I love about Justin. He's like me, you know, the record diver.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like when you sent me Harvard the other night, and I'm like, this motherfucker, where you been? Where you been?
Yeah.
That's old.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but like the music industry in general, man, it's when you think about it now versus 30 years ago, I didn't know much about the music industry, but 25 years ago when we first started to get involved in the music industry, not just like the music, but even the industry itself and what it means now versus then, it's just so different. I remember when we were kids, it was like all about getting a record deal.
Yeah.
And you thought like, oh, once you signed that paper, like that was it, like it's on and you're gonna get rich and famous, and actually to a certain extent it kind of was like that. I mean, yeah. you got screwed, but realistically, I mean, you weren't with us when we got signed to Shade, but so we got signed to a record label. I was like 16 years old, and it was a local record label. I mean, they did stuff for us, whatever. And I'm not gonna badmouth them. It was an experience, but it wasn't like the massive scale of like a major label.
Right.
You know, like, hey, we're gonna give you $1 million advance and then go from there. Which decade before that, it was $1 million bonus. Now, like, nobody even gets $1 million for anything, you know?
Yeah.
And the record industry now is hurting so bad because people have opened their eyes to that, and they realize that, and it's something that I've told you since we were kids, like a band is a business, and
absolutely.
you have to run it like a business.
Right.
And the thing is, I think artists nowadays have realized that. And so what's happening is record labels are becoming more and more obsolete, and the ones that are doing good are because they're realizing more and more that the artist, which is like what I want to do with my record label, is that the artists are the partners in the process and not just an artist that, you know, I'm going to exploit and make all this money from, and then when I'm done, I'm going to kick them to the curb.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, what's transpired is that you have all of these artists that there's just so many now.
There is, but to snowball that, to me, it's harder now because it's no longer about the musicianship. It's no longer about the music. It's now like, okay, I see a band that I like. They sound great. How many subscribers do they have? Yeah. How many followers do they have? Right. How many this? How many that? What's this? It's like, what does that matter?
Right.
Be that person to find them the subscribers and the followers.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? It's like, so you can no longer just get by on being a good musician anymore. Mm-hmm. There's so many ridiculous things that come with it that have nothing to do with you being a musician. Nothing.
Actually, you hit the nail on the head. Like, you're so right, because some of the artists that, like Justin, we were talking about, Justin has sent me, like, they have no followers. Yeah. And you're like, this should be one of the biggest bands in the world right now. But you're right. And there's people out there that will go across a page, just Instagram, and the band might be amazing, but they look at the fact that they have 400 followers and they say, like, oh,
gross.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
not going to give these guys a chance. But they have 4 million. Oh, I'm going to give them a listen because obviously people like them. But that's not always equates to better.
Exactly.
It does not always equate to better. There you
go. Yeah. I understood what you're saying. Yeah, dude, it's tough, man. I mean, you know, to me, again, that's always been the goal, right? Not to be a famous musician, just to make money off of music, you know?
Yeah.
Doing what I love to do.
Well, we were talking about, I think we were on the phone. I don't think it was on the podcast. Well, we were talking about how the experience of being on stage, right? We were talking about that over the phone the other day. Mm-hmm. I was trying to explain this to my wife, and she doesn't get it. And I think a lot of people don't get it. Like, there's addictions in life. Drug addiction, alcohol.
Man.
People don't understand, and this can be from the low level of, like, having 5 people show up to your show or 10,000 people show up to your show. The feeling that you get performing on a stage is so addictive, and it's not even, I think the big misconception is that it's because you're getting attention, you want people to admire you. It has nothing to do with that.
Nope.
We were talking a little bit about 4 dudes bouncing off each other in a room.
Yeah.
Okay, that in itself is addicting, because the feeling you get of performing. But when you take that music that you wrote and you go on a stage and you perform, and again, it can be in front of 5 people or 10,000 people, it doesn't matter. That feeling is unlike, for me personally, any drug, any drink, anything. To me, that is better than sex.
Yeah.
It's...
Well... No, I'm not going to agree to that, but yeah.
Well, it depends. Sometimes it could be. It's amazing, and it's an addiction, and it's something that I haven't experienced in very, 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 very many years. But
when was the last show you played? It was like
the late 2000s.
Late or mid?
No, well, it was right before. It was. I think the last show I played was it Lucky Devils?
Shit, you're talking like 2008.
8
or 7? I'm gonna
around
say
there.
7.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The last one I played was
2015,
14 or 15. Yeah.
But you and I, that experience was always very different for you and I. I was a perfectionist, but I ruined it for myself. Like,
and you almost ruined it for me, but I said I'm not gonna listen.
I connected back to, like, when I was a kid playing baseball.
Yeah.
I remember my grandfather used to go watch me play.
Have you seen my baseball?
And I always felt, because he was watching, I had to play perfectly.
Yeah.
And so, because I was always trying to play perfectly, I never enjoyed it. I should have just enjoyed the game and had fun with it, but I always felt like I had to be perfect. Music was the same thing for me.
Yeah.
Every time I performed, I would get pissed off at you guys, because you guys were up there having fun, and I was up there trying to play perfectly, or I wanted so like if our drummer messed up or our singer, like it would piss me off.
Yeah.
So I would walk off stage in a bad mood,
Yeah.
pissed off, but at the same time it was still such a great expence. But I was just,
we were too drunk to worry about you being mad.
yeah, exactly. And I was always like, I'll have one beer and then I'll get drunk after the show. But
you'd always get too mad and you'd just leave.
Yeah, exactly. But I just felt like people are paying to come see us. I want people to. I've always been one of those when I go to a show and they sound nothing like their album, and I'm like, dude, what did I just pay for? Like, you guys suck. So I never wanted to be that kind of artist, but I realized I put too much emphasis on that, and I focused too much on that, and I should have just enjoyed it.
You did, and then you need to take the genre of music into consideration.
Yeah.
If I were in a jazz band or a hip hop band, right, where like your part bass line is very prominent, right, and it's you can hear everything very clear.
Right.
Yeah, I would take my time, but when you're in a sea of distortion and crashes and drum fills and screaming,
And you're jumping around on stage.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I just wanted us to be the Lady Gaga of rock. No, I don't like her music very much, but as a person, she's pretty awesome. But one thing I give her respect for is that, dude, have you ever watched her perform?
Yeah.
The way she dances and plays piano and sings and does all this crap all at the same time, and it's flawless. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can't help but respect that. But anyways, I guess that's kind of what I always wanted was, I never wanted to choreograph anything. I just wanted the music to sound
Right.
flawless. But I shouldn't have. I should have just been like, screw it. Let's just have fun.
And then half and half.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay for a band to stand around and sound amazing.
Right.
What did I just... I just watched you stand there. I could just listen to your CD for this perfection, right? Like,
Yeah.
I want a show.
Yeah.
I want a show. I want people... You know what I mean? I want to walk away going, oh my God, I got to get my shit straight. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna band practice tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that, to me, even as a performer, I'm the same way. I'm giving people a show whether you want it or not.
Right.
You know? It's just how you get it out. It's the emotion coming out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's part of adding to that addiction is like when you're on stage and you just kind of, you're performing, your performance in that kind of music, it's not a choreographed performance. It's a reaction to the sounds
Right.
and the feeling of the music. And it's just such a, like, words can't describe that feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I miss that, but I think that's where I got it, going back to what we originally started off with. I need to get in shape because at this point I'm gonna throw my back out.
All right, look.
I'm gonna twist an ankle.
You put too many things before the actual goal. I want to play a show, but I'm gonna become president first, and then I'm gonna take over the world, and then I'm gonna build a car, and then I'm gonna build this, and then I'm gonna play a show.
I know.
It's just book a show. We'll be all right.
Yeah. Soon.
See what I mean?
Soon. No, really. I really want to play soon. I mean, we gotta practice.
Yeah.
I gotta remember my songs first.
Well, I mean, this is a different conversation, but I think we need to take 2 songs and start from scratch.
Yeah.
We need to quit hashing out the past. Just move on. We're in a different spot now than we were back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And we'll get there. I'm not worried about it.
I know you're not. You have your drummer, your bass player, and your singer thinking, come on, man. Come on, keep it funky. How many text messages do you get from all 3 of us a week saying, basically, get your head out of your ass, and when are we going to do this?
Yeah,
Quite
much.
often.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, that's where I gotta just let go and have fun with it.
Yes.
I gotta stop being such a, like, no, everything has to be perfect and lined up just right first. I don't know why I'm like that.
Dude, I forgot what philosopher it was, but there's no perfect time. There will never be a perfect time.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah. I know. I do want to get in shape first.
That's easy. That's the easy part.
I
The
don't
thing
wanna
about
look
you,
like Crowbar up there.
Dude, you now versus you 12 years ago, very different.
Oh, the air conditioner turned on. I was wondering what that was.
I thought it was a vacuum.
No, so did I.
So Patrick, we're in the middle of recording. Can you please stop?
Speaking of that, I'm sorry to sideswipe you.
Dude, that's what we do here.
I told you, right? We got a paranormal investigators coming out. Yeah.
Now, I was trying to wrap my head around it. Is it the Ghost Hunters?
No, but they're part of the same group.
Oh, okay.
Which is like...
Are you going to be on TV?
No, like, they're going to do it just for us. They'll give us, like... They're going to investigate, I guess, do, like, the audio, the video, the sound, like... And anything that they find, they'll give it to us.
Okay.
Like,
I'm a... I don't want to say I'm a non-believer because ghosts scare the crap out of me.
Right.
Though, in all my... Not going to say years of existence, I've never seen anything.
Here? Like ever
in my life.
General. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Can I be here when it happens?
Of course.
I'm calling off that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm surprised you'd want to be.
Well, you know what? It's because there's going to be more than 2 people in this house, so I won't be that scared. If it were just me and you, no, sir.
So those that haven't heard about it, you know, the guy that lived in my house before me committed suicide. Young guy. And there's been a lot of crazy stuff happening. Don't really want to get into it much, but I've actually have a lot of experience with paranormal stuff going back to stupid crap my older brother did back in the day.
Yep.
So it's very recognizable when that stuff happens. Believe it or not, there's a lot of non-believers out there, but when you've experienced the crap that I've experienced, you can't help.
As a matter of fact, you just gave me an idea.
What?
In the spirit of Halloween, spooky season. We've been always saying that Eric will be on this podcast. Actually, he should have been on this one,
right?
But he had to go to town.
In the spirit, he didn't have to, but
boy, he wanted to. He's cute. He's been going through a lot. Let him be.
That's true.
In the spirit of Halloween, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about all those experiences.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
those are crazy.
Because let me tell you, look, I know people that they're like me. They've never seen anything. They've never heard anything. Blah blah blah. But the minute I dropped those stories on them, even though I was not there,
right?
I know those stories like the back of my hand because you guys have told them so much. When I dropped those stories on them, people were like, "There's no way." I'm scared right now. So you should be, because I'm one person away from that person being next to you. Like,
right.
I don't know if that guy's following me around. He could be sitting right behind you right now.
Yeah.
Tread carefully.
That's
So I think in the spirit of Halloween, we should do that.
I think that's a great idea.
Actually, I know it is. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like, what is that noise?
I didn't mean to say anything. I'm going home.
Yeah, but like I told you, I don't think you've experienced that stuff because I think like...
God's with me? Yes, I know.
Yeah. You pray and
I
stuff.
pray hard before I come to any ward house. Any.
You know... yeah, I can't wait. We'll get into that because for the longest time, I kept a lot of those stories to myself. I would only tell like people that I was very close to.
Yeah.
Just because some of them are so outrageous. Like I get it. Like I think it's hard to believe sometimes.
It really is. You can't. It's hard to fathom any of this being real.
Right.
But you guys tell me it is. You know, Jason's witnessed it. I mean.
Oh, we've had countless people witness it.
Yeah. So to me, it's the numbers make sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Again, not to say I believe it wholeheartedly.
Right.
But I mean,
it's just it's hard to deny something when you experience it so closely and so frequently. And then but yeah, I mean sometimes especially people that you don't know, whenever I've told them, they're like, you know, you deep down you feel like they're probably looking at you like this freaking liar.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm like,
yeah, black figures with big teeth. It's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to believe, you know.
Yeah. All right, we're up on 50-minute mark. Anything else? That was quick.
Wow. Yeah.
That's what she said.
No. More good stuff to come. We still have another challenge that's in the works.
Oh, right.
Again,
I completed my part.
Paul completed his part, which I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't change the fact that you did yours, right? You still have your notes. You've already gone through the experience.
Yeah.
But again, I'm in a funk.
Yeah.
Big time. Got a lot of shit on my mind. And music fatigue, right? I tried. Yeah. I got 4 songs deep, and I don't know if I was just in a bad mood, but I said, "Oh no, ma'am, not even. There's no way I'm making it through this one."
So to remind people, it's I listened to El Nino, the band, and Adrian's listening to the Beatles.
Yeah.
The Shitty Beatles.
The Shitty Beatles. So it's not just a clever name, right?
So yeah. So once
I'll get it done.
the results are in, we'll kind of touch base on that one.
I just need a few good nights sleep, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll get out of my shit, and then I'll get on it. Even if I have to cram it, I'll do it. But
Right.
I already know it's gonna be hard.
That's what she said.
Yeah, it's but okay. Well, let's save it for then. But yes, I've already started.
All right.
You're completed. I've started. So that's to come. We got Eric coming on. So yeah, good things.
Yeah.
Good things coming up.
And
Fat
then-
Kid season. Everybody, for those of you who are fitness people, don't be ashamed. We're not machines. Enjoy your holidays.
Oh man, that makes me want to go eat pizza.
Dude, nothing better than a cold night.
But I'm an old guy now. Marinara sauce gives me acid reflux.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You're done. You're done. You need to leave to catch the early special. It's 10:30. Is it time for dinner?
All right. We'll call it there.
All right. Thanks everybody. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.